This is Puneet Surana and you are listening to Galata. Dhwaj, welcome on the Galata Podcast.
Thank you so much, Puneet Surana. It's my pleasure to be here on with you.
Thank you. Before I begin, I love if you can give a 1-minute pitch / introduction to the audience about you.
My name is Dhwaj Chajjed. I'm the founder of Dyne. I run a firm called Maharaja Foods. We're into manufacturing of food and beverage. We play around with all kinds of things that you see on a dining table, from seasonings, spices, masalas, mixes. And of course, in beverage, we have flavored coffees and, latte mixes and things like that. So this is a little about what, I do under Dyne.
The usual first question I ask all my guests is, what were the conversations around the dinner table when you were growing up?
I think probably those conversations would be, I want my drone, please get me my drone.
Okay.
Or things like that.
Never. You got a drone as a toy.
Yeah, I've been one of the most crankiest child, probably through growing up, where...
Crankiest?
If there's something that I wanted, I used to make it sure no matter what, even if there's an earthquake or something, you have to go buy me that. So I remember this one, we were probably again mentioning about dinner table. We were sitting for dinner and I was probably in my 8th or 9th grade, where we were on a fight that I want a gear bicycle no matter what, and it was raining heavily, but you have to get it to me today.
Today? Okay.
Today. And both of us left at dinner, we got that bicycle.
You left the dinner without eating?
Yeah, as in you were like, till you don't get it, I'm not having food. So I had to get that, he had to get me that cycle, and that's when we came back and we had food.
Are you serious?
I was that, the stubborn kid that no matter what, I need what I want. And I think that's me now also. Like if
that doesn't work in your house. Ek chata milega, don't try. This is a Maharaja child.
Always been told you're born with a silver spoon in mouth, and I agree to that too.
Was it silver or platinum? Did you do a double check?
Surely, but I think yes. Dad has like 3 brothers, and the other 2 brothers always used to scold.
Dad.
Yeah, Dad. Don't get him everything he asks, because tomorrow he's going to ask you for a plane. Get that also for him then.
You asked him to get a drone and he got your drone?
Yeah, I got the remotely operated domestic drone. And a little more a pun here that my brother runs a company called Spotlight Academy, where he is into manufacturing of drone too. So we supply drones to a lot of schools and colleges now.
But that's now.
Back then it was something like that I wanted. Yeah, I wanted a thing to play with, so he got that too.
Okay, high maintenance child. I have on the show today. What's the most expensive thing you've demanded? And you've got it. Of course, not a plane, but...
I think it was my bike though. My family was completely against my bike. And I think...
what bike did you get?
That just gave... It's a Bullet. So they're like, nah, this is not what we ride. You should be getting a normal two-wheeler which is easier for the entire family. Can probably, use it also and sit comfortably. But I was against it. I was like, no, I want a Bullet.
Like a...
Yeah,
like an identity of a Marwadi.
Identity of a Marwadi, like you mentioned, is what they wanted me to take. But then I was like, nahi, humko ye nahi chalega. I wanted my Bullet only. I waited for a while. I was like, ye dilao to theek hai. And then slyly Dad had to just give me a check. They're like, jo leke aana, leke aa jao.
Which one did you get?
I got a Bullet.
The 350 one, the 650 one?
It was a 350, Thunderbird 350X. Yeah. So I'm a little too particular about things that I want, and if it is something that I want it. And yes.
Nice. I still remember I had to get a bike for college. And the only option I had was a moped, like a scooter.
हाँ.
So I got an access, but then something clicked in my head. I'm like, I don't want to be the boy that drops all the aunties and everyone. So I cut out the entire grab rail behind. So there's no grab rail. So the entire
Nice,
family,
okay.
all the buas, all the chachis would be like, I'll go with anybody except Puneet. Because there's nothing to hold.
Okay.
But aren't people in your family comfortable, especially the chachis, buas? And all
Yeah,
them,
they are
with
comfortable because Bullet does have a very comfortable seat too.
Yeah.
Like it has the backrest and everything. So it is comfortable, but they're afraid of the speed. So again, I think we fall on the same boat where you have removed the grab rail and I never reduced the accelerator. So
dangerous. Interesting. You've gotten a Bullet as one of the most expensive gifts, man. Nice. I'm curious, when did you start getting involved in business?
I have started with Maharaja Foods 3 years back, which was
3 years back. When you were
Yeah.
like 19.
When I was 20. I started when I was 20. So that's when I started off with business and had that mindset कि कुछ करना है. I was clear in my mind that I'm not going to get into any form of jobs or things like that. So I was clear in my head. Probably just from college itself, I had this clarity that I want to do something in business, and that brings me to this stage today as well, where I have built Maharaja Foods and Dyne as a brand. So that's something that I started when I was
How
20.
did it start at 20? I'm just curious. Why did you choose?
Interesting story again. Why did I start? Christ was known for its food. You had some
such shit
10.
food.
Yeah, I wouldn't agree to that. We had amazing bun samosas and things like that. So
Bun samosa, okay.
exactly. You need to be a Christite to know certain things also.
What did you study at Christ?
I have done BCom honors from there.
Okay.
So yeah, a BCom graduate from Christ. Having the interest of starting off with a business. Again, food and beverage, surely because I'm a foodie. It shows it all.
It suits the Bullet. You can't be a lean fellow on a Bullet. Doesn't
Surely.
go with the vibe.
So yeah, I would say कि was interested in food and beverage brings me purely into getting into something of that sort. I had a couple of other plans too, but COVID hit during that time, and
You're the COVID batch.
yeah, I'm the COVID batch. I don't know why you gave me that look, but
You know the Christ gruels and things. Lucky you.
maybe, but I think it's okay. It's something that everyone has dealt with, so it's okay. But I was the COVID batch.
Everyone except.
Ouch. Ouch. Fair. So, getting back to that, where wanted to start off, one thing that I did see during COVID was everything might stop. You might postpone your clothes, you might postpone a lot of other things in life, but food is something that never stopped. Like being at home also, everyone wanted those tasty snacks and food and everything. So that struck me during that time, probably during our lockdowns when everyone was just shut at their houses. We were like, I started off my research back then. There was nothing to do. Pura din ya to so ya khao ya piyo. So you were sitting at home doing nothing.
Right.
So I was like, ठीक है, करना है तो कुछ तो we can start off with something just as an idealization back then. And that's how Maharaja Foods ka child was born. We incorporated the company where we were like, I'll be getting into food and beverage and had an idea कि ये करना है. So on the go, the first product that Dyne had was chocolates.
How did you, wait, pause. So how did you come up with the name Dyne, and what was the research that you did? Because you're still sitting at home.
Right.
And coffee is something that you need to have a lot of.
Once I was probably out of the COVID era, where things got back to college and everything, there was a Diwali season which had come. So everyone wanted to gift something.
Yeah.
And we were like, ठीक है, अभी सब कुछ हाथ में है, product आ गया, सब कुछ आ गया. We need to name it. So first thing, again, the first question that you had asked, what do you do on a dining table? I was like, dining table बैठे नाम Dyne ही दे देते हैं. So getting DINE was difficult, where it's a common term and trademark does not approve it. That's how DYNE was coined. Basically, it was Dyne with Dyne. DINE with DYNE. So anything that you need on a dining table can be supplied by Dyne, which is my brand name called Dyne.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was the entire concept of Dyne.
How did you do the R&D through COVID? Because coffee is something that you need to sniff, you need to
exactly.
prepare, you need to be involved
During the
in
COVID
process.
period was just an idealization. What is to be done?
And what all did you have as an option?
Spices was something that we started off with. That was through the R&D process. I had spent roughly 1.5 years just to understand what the product and how it goes about. Being a foodie, I think my entire COVID, I was majorly in the kitchen, trying out things, probably because spices की कमी घर पे होती नहीं है. I'm a Marwadi and Marwadis have n number of spices. You name it and you find it. So I was able to, probably mix and match and create a lot of products back then during the COVID. And probably once COVID started, again, college and all of that was into play. So there was a small deviation where, again, got into college types of things. So that was again put on hold. I was like, okay, we'll get back to this because, again, Marwadi families की भाई पढ़ाई कर लो बाद में देख लेंगे ये चीज़ को. So
धंधा चलता रहेगा.
हाँ, धंधा चलता रहेगा. That you don't have to worry.
Won't stop.
But then again, me being getting the taste of a business a little here and there, wanted to just start off and I coined Dyne. We started supplying chocolates during Diwali. I think we had distributed 25,000 boxes out in the market where I had gone down shop to shop just to make sure that the brand reaches. The entire idea of the giving out those chocolate boxes was to make sure that Dyne leaf reaches n number of people. So I had made sure that I printed the leaf, the logo, the Dyne logo that we talk about is, that's the one. So the logo is something which was printed quite big on the boxes as well. And we made sure that everyone looks at that logo once. So it reached roughly 25,000 families is what I can say. Because if you're gifting someone, you give one to a family. Or probably even if 25,000 is what...
but 20,000 is a huge number.
Exactly.
How did you manage to plan for this, go about it? Did you raise investments from family?
No investment. Family, 100%. We got investment from the family that I wanted to get these done.
So how much did you ask?
I had asked for 15 lakhs from dad, and dad also wanted a little confidence कि अभी तक पढ़ाई कर रहा है 15 लाख मांग रहा है. There has to be a strong point to give out cash also. Again, being Banya family, पैसा is important no matter what. I was like, हाँ ये plan है. He's like, लेगा कौन? Who's going to buy? तुम बोल रहे हो कि तुम 25,000 initial plan was 50,000 boxes. So 50,000 तुम print करवा के तो रख दोगे.
This big size boxes?
No. They were smaller.
Okay, okay.
But they were chocolate boxes. So you can tell कि bigger, but not that thick as this box. So he's like 50,000 print तो करवा लोगे, खरीदेगा कौन? So any dad question would be that. So I was like, I have ready orders in hand. I had gone to the market. I was like, मैं तो booking लेके आ गया हूँ. अब मेरे को पैसा चाहिए, आप पैसा दे दो.
Okay, so go back. Tell me how did you get bookings, and then we'll come back to this.
Sure. So going back again, I went down door to door. Again, known people, probably a few corporate gifters and things like that.
And what was the pitch?
Sorry?
What was the pitch?
कुछ major करना नहीं था. I made sure that the chocolates were the best. Something that you would probably pop in a Ferrero Rocher in your mouth and then pop in Dyne chocolate. You would surely love eating Dyne chocolate again. So we made sure that we gave one of the best chocolate. As soon as chocolate went into the mouth, it melted in there.
So I'm losing you here because we started off with coffee and then you got into chocolate. I'm just curious.
No, we didn't start off with the coffee. We were always on spices. And today also our main business is into spices.
Okay.
These were just a few more things in hand because I used to also think that if I would supply, like initially the plan was not to get into Horeca, but it was in retail jars. But through the process of R&D, I was in a stage where I was just doing R&D, but I never saw cash flow come in. So वो एक चुल रहता है कि why you're working, but पैसा नहीं आ रहा है. So just wanted to get started with an opportunity to get started with sales. And then I saw Diwali coming in, where I was like, ठीक है, we can probably start with one round of sales, जहाँ पर सामने से people are ready to buy these boxes. And just pitching, going down to family, friends and
But
friends.
Before that, you knocked on chocolates. How did you, what was the R&D? क्या किया? क्या दिमाग लगाया? Or you had somebody who made the chocolate?
कुछ वैसा था नहीं. Just got into someone who can manufacture these and give it to me.
Acha, okay. This is like a white label thing, but you wanted to...
But making sure that one of the top-notch quality that we can, provide to people. And they tasted these chocolates and they were a fan. I had... it was a very initial stage of Dyne bringing to life. So nothing was ready. Na website ready tha, na kuch ready tha. We were just like, एक बार sales करते फिर देख लेंगे. So the entire concept of
that is such an important aspect that people don't get it. एक बार sales कर लेंगे फिर देखते हैं. People don't approach things like this.
Yeah, I was like, एक बार बेच के तो देखते हैं. फिर देखेंगे website बनाना है, क्या बनाना है, देख लेंगे.
पहले बेचते हैं.
So
this is so critical. I cannot tell you, because जब तू लोगों को देखता है वो पहले प्रोडक्ट बना लेंगे, पहले कुछ परफेक्ट चीज कर लेंगे, फिर बेचेंगे.
हाँ,
वो कभी बिकता नहीं है.
हाँ. I think अगर बिकेगा तो automatically things will fall to place. The very prime thing of a business is sales. आप मैन्युफैक्चर करके 1000, 2000, लाख बॉक्सेस भी लाके रख दोगे. Selling is one of the biggest problem in today's market, because I can tell you ki in the flavored coffee brand that I'm running, I can show you 100, 150 plus brands. But are everyone able to sell in that quantum? No. There are brands which are coming and going on a regular basis. I can tell कि रोज कोई नया ब्रांड ग्रो हो रहा है, कोई बन रहा है, या रोज कोई एक ब्रांड बंद हो जाता है. But more important is, are they able to sell? And are they able to sell in the same quantum? A very weird curve is also bad. It has to have a proper uptrend to it also. So yes, 100% there are ways or trends to it too. Again, coming back to what I was saying कि chocolates चले तो गए, लेके गए उनके पास, and then we were like, these are the chocolates. The entire concept, like I mentioned also, R&D spices का आज भी बैक एंड पे चल ही रहा है. So chocolates तो चले गए. The next step.
Wait, कहाँ चले गए? So 20,000 is a huge number.
Market
How
में.
did you manage it? I'm just curious. Literally, you went to shop to shop.
I went shop to shop.
Where?
Shop to shop. If you go to a lot of these sari markets, going to the typical Avenue Road and all of these places also, these people have a huge clientele. All these distributors, they have your light market. There were a couple of clients that we had towards these light markets also, where they have 1,000 distributors in Bangalore. So they give one small box to everyone.
And how much was this box for?
This box was, there were 3 variants that we had: small, medium, large, and this also. Starting off with 390, 490 and 590 if I'm not wrong. I don't remember, this is quite old too. But these were the 3 sizes that we had, which was 12, 18 and 24 chocolate pieces in each. So गए, pitch किया, इनके पास लेके गए, and we went to a couple of them. So everyone just giving us 500,000 boxes also help us scale to that number, because idea was 50,000. By the time we reached Diwali, I think 25,000 also we were with the difficulty trying to supply, क्योंकि पीछे से मैन्युफैक्चरर बोल रहा था कि सर ये पेस में नहीं हो पाएगा, आप लेके तो आ गए हो. So he had a couple of other orders too, and he wasn't just supplying us. And when it comes to this gifting market, it is very last minute. उस दिन चॉकलेट तो टेस्ट कर लिया, but they call probably just 2 days before, सर मेरे को इतना बॉक्स भिजवा देना. So that was a new learning for me there. कि when it comes to my current market trend, I'll come to that also. But when a customer wants something right now, they want it right now. It does not matter what it is. The next step that was supposed to be that जो spices, seasonings ready हो गए थे back end पे, they were supposed to be got to the market, which didn't happen due to certain reasons where product R&D में थोड़ा सा कहीं backlog रह गया. We weren't able to get things out rightly and all of that. So products started to have certain issues back then in the bottles also. So we had to get back and correct all of those. And जो जो 25,000 boxes गए थे, that was a marketing mode. Like आपको box मिला, you saw the leaf, you saw Dyne. So Dyne was registered in your mind because you liked the chocolate, and I was 110% sure that you would have liked the chocolate because we made sure that the quality was top notch. So एक बार के लिए we saw this because I had slightly put a small QR code also on the box. So a lot of people were just scanning. I just wanted to know how many people are scanning that. Maybe just out of the chul, people would have just tried to scan it. But I started also collecting data कि कौन से area से ज़्यादा scan हो रहा है. And the next step was to make sure within that week all the spices were to their area supermarkets. But
of course, things
went through a different change. A pivot happened there also.
So tell me back to your dad. You're like order लेके आ गया.
Order तो लेके आ गया, हाँ. He was happy कि boss ठीक है. Why wouldn't he be happy?
When you were speaking to your dad, do you have an idea?
I honestly don't remember as such, but even doing that probably 5-10 lakh ka order also, it did give him immense pleasure कि boss कुछ कर रहा है. He has something streamlined in his mind, and college में भी होके he is trying to probably do something in terms of business. So he was quite happy with the plans that I was running around, or probably I had a friend also who was helping me through this, and a couple of things that back then it was not. It was a streamlined idea, but it was not that well planned also. It was just कि ठीक है देख लेंगे बाद में. Like I mentioned कि कर लेंगे, हो गया तो ठीक है, वरना let's see. Because that time college था, मस्ती था. We were just in the the time where कि ठीक है करना है times. Now you're in a stage where things are streamlined. You know कि you have to. अभी now also when the clock is ticking, I'm like हाँ this is left, that is left, ये काम pending है आज का. So all of that keeps going on because you are with a set of responsibilities now. So yes, all of that is always there on the back. Again, getting back to what chocolate boxes वगैरह सब हो गया, that story was done.
That gave you 15 lakhs at the end of it.
I think that was a bigger order if I'm not wrong. That was the very first set of paid marketing sale that I had done. So
what is paid marketing sale?
Sir, आपने box ले लिया मेरे से. You bought 1,000 boxes. You're paying me for that product. And उस पे आपका नाम कहीं नहीं आ रहा है. जहाँ देखो वहाँ सिर्फ Dyne का बड़ा सा लोगो printed था. So you're doing my marketing and you paid me for it also. So you distributed those boxes to 1,000 people. जहाँ पर Dyne का नाम हुआ है and मेरा marketing हो गया था. So technically the plan was something else, but it turned out to be something else too.
Still worked out well.
I'm being a Marwadi, I don't understand burning money. जो ads पे पैसा run कर दिया है. That's something that I've never understood. So
you want to be maybe ads also profitable. मुझे पैसा दो, मेरा brand करो.
Exactly. That was something that was in my mind too. कि मैं marketing तो करूँगा, but I want to get paid for it also. I'm not doing it for free.
I'm not paying him to be on the show.
So yeah, that was a very good move that I had played back then. Then, like I mentioned, that spices had a small tweak to it. We had to understand that there was some problem on the back end, and we had to correct that. So that took me a lot of time.
But this gave you the seed capital to figure out some more time.
True, it gave me some capital, but again, the cost of the chocolates were also not very low. They were also at par. My idea was not to make money here, but was just to make sure that the brand reaches to people. So I succeeded in that for sure, because those boxes reached out to a couple of them, and the couple was also very big in number. 25,000 was not a small number, and I was more happy when people started scanning the QR code just to find out who this person is or what the brand is.
They went to the website.
They went to the website, which wasn't ready. So it showed a 404 or a 101 not available, like I mentioned. So when I started seeing a huge traffic flow in, I put people right there. I was like, get like a basic static page ready. I need it by the end of the day.
Beautiful.
So that at least people understand what the brand is, or little about the brand. So we mentioned everything that I had planned. I was like, spices bhi dalo, flavored honey bhi dalo, flavored coffee bhi dalo, sab kuch dalo. Everything has to be there in a pictorial format. And the website didn't look that great as such, but ठीक है, it was a very nice static page explaining about what we do and हमारे details. Please contact if you have any requirement. Again, I'm Banya, I think only business.
Yeah.
So again, from that also we got a lot of orders. The
Oh yeah, you got
25,000 didn't
repeat
stop.
orders.
Yeah, 25,000 didn't stop. I got a lot of calls that we liked this chocolate. Can you please let us know where can we get it from? So I had to stop there. I didn't want to because this was not my core business. I didn't want to get into chocolates in any way because I didn't want to be dependent. At 25,000, वो 25,000 भी मेरे को आराम से नहीं मिला. I had to keep calling him, sir, customer wait कर रहा है, sir, customer wait कर रहा है, please भिजवाइए. So that's one thing that I've always faced कि never be dependent. Make sure you have your own set. सामने से अगर कोई मांग रहा है, I don't know how to tell no. वो अगर आज भी in spices also, I have roughly 25 SKUs, but even if that customer is asking for any other additional 5, I make sure that I beg, borrow, steal, but I'll get it to him.
Yeah.
So that's one service that we make sure and we provide. So providing
you
that
take
additional
extra
thing,
mile.
that extra mile that we take is this, making sure
the big baskets can't do.
True. So
That's the edge of a small business, of an independent operator.
exactly. That's something that brings me to all of this, and then of course our R&D चल ही रहा था. By then we had launched
कर
coffee.
क्या रहे थे with spices? Were you trying to like packaging?
No,
or
it was not packaging. It was
tasting?
understanding because जो lumping होता है spices में, there's something that causes lumping or products to spoil. So there are certain things that we have to add to make sure that the product is at par or probably not spoiling in time. हाँ जी. So yeah, R&D चलते रहता है पीछे backend पे. Now also, at the moment also, even if the product is going in the market, there are certain corrections that we keep getting. So a chef might tell ki, I think your product has to be probably XYZ. It's quite spicy, or probably your peri peri is not equal to that brand, or we want it this way. So changes keep happening. So back then, I come from a very basic BCom background, having no idea about this. तो ये समझने में थोड़ा सा टाइम लग गया कि कैसे क्या करते हैं. स्पाइसेस तो घर पे गरम मसाला तो बना देंगे, बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू प्रॉब्ली ऑन अ कमर्शियल स्केल, मेकिंग पेरी पेरी, peri peri is just not chili powder or adding a few herbs here and there. There's a lot that goes into the ingredients. So understanding all of these took me a lot of time. The time that I'd spent probably those 2 years in the research of how we can execute spices here, it was trying a new thing every day. आज ये mix किया तो कल ये mix करेंगे. An interesting story about coffee also coming probably once we get
So
there.
you have spices, you have coffee, and chocolate's done, but you had these two as the
These two as my main
focus area.
focus category that I deal with. So spices were getting ready back then. Probably, like I mentioned, it had to put on a halt because the product started spoiling in the bottles as well. So I had roughly 5,000 bottles which were disposed. Because food cannot be, brought
How does
back
feel
to
dispose 5,000 bottles?
it does hit surely because you put in efforts and your product, there's losses, there's a lot of things that went into it. So that was the very first fall that I had faced. 100% chocolates was not the main focus in any way, so that surely would have given some joy or your pleasure that we have done so much sales, but the actual fall that we faced were in spices. So
This is during the Diwali itself, where you had 5,000 bottles go waste.
no, post Diwali when it started to get into the shelves. So that's where we started seeing that वापस call back आ रहा है कि sir आपके product में अंदर lump बन गया. Is it just on this bottle या फिर दूसरे में भी हो रहा है, please check करवा दीजिएगा. So one problem with FMCG market is if you get blacklisted once, there is no entry. No matter what, क्या कैसे आप क्या change करके लाओ, entering is a very big task. So I've been facing that today also, where I tried flooding the market with Dyne. I was like, ये product आप रख के देखो. So I started seeing the product spoil here itself. So I had to call back everything. I was like, boss, just send back the stock. We'll send you new stock again. But the time that involved in just checking what the problem was, it was the first fall or the first fail that I had in my business entirely. And the problem was, it was the very start. That's where you fall. So understanding and correcting certain things was something that I was trying to focus or understand. Again, like I mentioned, कि मेरे को उतना idea नहीं था. Had zero idea about food and technology and things like that. So learning certain things became a very big task, because if I would go to dad or someone, who obviously first thing I would run to when it comes to business is dad or uncle. So when I used to go to them, they would give me a general idea कि business कैसे करते हैं. But going to the root, when I come from the production background today, I had zero idea कि कैसे क्या mix करना चाहिए कि ये lump ना हो. So that's when I started picking up certain courses, understanding food and technology, what was necessary for making sure that the product is lively, taste bhi hai, and making sure that the product does not spoil too. So yes, I learned a lot. I go with this thing in my mind that every day is a new learning. Every step that I walk today also, I understand that there's some certain learning that I take. So 100%, spices were getting cured by then in my language, and dheere dheere we started, again, coffee was something that we were just blending flavors with. So we launched that also in hand. Again, with the mindset that there has to be some capital that has to keep flowing in, because I can't sit idle with money not flowing into my account. So
that's not comfortable.
That's not comfortable. That's
you want some cash flow.
There has to be money flowing in no matter what.
Profit नहीं वो चलेगा. पैसा move होना चाहिए.
पैसा move होना चाहिए. If cash circulation stops somewhere, that means it is going to give a problem in the longer run. So I used to make sure that your cash flow has to keep rotating. Profit is something that cannot be focused also. It's okay. We can look into it later. But cash flow has to happen. Your product circulation has to happen. If that stops somewhere, if people, जो मैंने 25,000 boxes distribute किए, if there's a break to that, जो मैंने किया वो waste हो जाएगा. So I have to make sure that the customer is still seeing that leaf again and again. Dyne has to be there, clicking in their head again and again.
Yeah.
So
never
I
let
made
the
sure.
Customer forget you.
Yes. So that's when we launched coffee. We were like, ठीक है, you can stay. Spices can stay for a while. We can see, because that's वो लंबी रेस का घोड़ा था. That was made sure that we barge into every possible place, every way and any way. So we launched our coffee. We made sure that, again.
So how did you launch the coffee? When did you know it was the right coffee? Did you have coffee experts? Because Bangalore has a lot of coffee work going on.
Okay.
A lot of coffee experts here.
Coming to that also, very interesting story. I'm someone who had tasted coffee probably first time in my degree. उससे पहले ना मैंने कॉफी टेस्ट किया हुआ है, ना चाय टेस्ट किया हुआ है.
कोर्स केसर बादाम का दूध पीता था.
ना केसर बादाम दूध टेस्ट किया. I used to drink plain white milk without sugar. That was something that I've been consuming all my childhood. Today also, that's something that I consume in the morning first. Yeah. So I've never tasted coffee till my first year of degree. Thank you so much. But that's something that I consume, as in the first time I consumed coffee was in my first year degree.
You know, people say first time they consume alcohol. And the first year of degree at Christ.
Nahi.
You're coming across too power right now on the podcast.
But I agree. I have seen friends tell that also to me. But I was not the one who tasted alcohol then, but coffee for the first time. And I don't know if I should call myself that I'm having a coffee brand today. So yeah, I was taken to Starbucks. I was like, one of my very close friend had taken me there. They were like, you should taste this coffee. And they made me drink coffee. I was like, I don't drink coffee, but okay, let me just taste it. The first time I tasted coffee, it was a caramel Java chip. I was like, this is interesting. That's when, probably after down the line, I started thinking about what can be done in the coffee segment. And that's foodie, chul, ungli. जब कुछ अच्छा लग गया, मैंने 350 रुपये दिए थे उधर वो एक कॉफ़ी के लिए. Like, इतना महंगा तो मैं रोज नहीं पी पाऊंगा. How will I pay 350 every day? अभी टेस्ट तो लग गया मुंह पे, अभी रोज जाने तो होगा नहीं क्योंकि इतना पैसा तो दूंगा नहीं मैं. So that's when I started thinking. I started searching what is a caramel coffee. That's when I found another brand who was doing something similar. I ordered samples. I tasted that coffee. I was like 100% तो नहीं है, 90% जरूर है. That's what we want.
90% जरूर है मतलब?
In terms of taste. The level.
Okay.
That's what we want. I don't have to give 100%. I have to give 90%. When that person's paying
You don't want
350,
Starbucks. You want the
I
bucks.
don't want Starbucks. I just want the bucks. That was a good one. That was a good one. So I was like, that's all we need. Now I have to tell the customer that this is 100%. So I got that.
Oh, okay. I did not see this move.
हाँ. So I have to tell the customer कि boss ये 100%. आप टेस्ट तो करके देखो. जब वो टेस्ट करेगा, when the taste is similar also, he does not get to know. It's a normal human tendency. Even if you taste both at the same time, if you're comparing 100%, you can get that difference. But if you're drinking it individually, you will not see a major difference.
It won't pass a blind test, but it will pass otherwise.
So yeah, that's when I ordered samples. I was like, ठीक है ये है. Let's try doing something on this. Then I started putting my head in types of coffee, how it works, what is it, and did a little more research onto it. That's when I started that person is doing a couple of flavors. Let's launch more number of flavors. I got in 32 flavors of coffee.
Wait, so you just jumped from...
Yeah. जब देते हो, if you're trying to give the same quality, fair enough. If you're not giving that, try giving the best price. You're giving the best price, try giving variety. When you give them a variety, they'll be like, अच्छा, they 100% it starts creating problems on the back end कि तुम कितना stock रखोगे, ये सब कुछ होगा. But when you start giving them variety, they start thinking कि अच्छा, they have so many things. So he'll still try picking at least one from them. And my goal was that कि तुम देखो एक बार, एक bottle खरीद लो. Once you buy one bottle, I'll start converting you. And that's what we did.
So you do 5 flavors, or why do but these 32 flavors?
That's something that I learned hard way. I'm like, तुम ज़्यादा दे दोगे, तुम्हारा stock पीछे problem हो जाता है. So I had to cut that down. What we did, we don't do it in the form of a D2C or a retail. We have only 7 flavors in retail. So I have 7 different flavors which were my top sellers that I learned from the 32 flavors. I have given
more like a test.
More like a test. So I tried that out probably in an offline market where we were like, ये सारे flavors हैं, आप taste करो. We did this at one of the flea markets called Sunday Soul Sante. Or was it Swiggy Steppin' Out? Swiggy Steppin' Out, I think so. Yeah. So I think one of my friend again pushed us that you should try this out. You can get a very good test and things like that. So we surely did that, and we got a very good response from there. They were like, boss, your coffee is really good. And we were able to sell, again, bucks. Once we started seeing flow, we were like, अरे boss, ये तो बहुत बढ़िया है. जैसी पैसा अंदर आने लगता है, सब कुछ अच्छा लगता है. So we were able to sell from there also. We were like, okay, I think this is the right time to capitalize it and भर दो. So we bought in good stock. We started flooding the market again. We launched ourselves on all kinds of platforms that we could. I think back then we were able to sell from 10 different platforms too. Like जहाँ जो अपना coffee बेचना चाहे. Which worked the best? Surely website.
Your personal website?
Yes, website gave us very good.
Okay. Compared to like the Amazon, Flipkart and the Blink.
Exactly. Amazon, Flipkart, surely they did initially were giving us good sales because it's a marketplace where people were coming and searching for a particular thing. But slowly that got shifted to our website because we started giving in offers. So we were like buy one get one free. Initially when we launched, we sold coffee at ₹1. So we just started, collecting customers. कि customer हमसे जुड़ के रहे.
It's a habit forming.
Coffee and tea are things like that. Once you get used to it, no matter what you need it. So that was the idea of how we started selling coffee also.
But you're burning money. How did you convince your family that you're burning money and
later stage? That was something which was in my mindset too, that I don't want to burn money. That's how the very first way of marketing started also. But then running down, I understood that if you don't, the entire clientele or the market sits on these platforms. Like if I'm running a D2C firm today, there is a point where, you know, people are viewing you through these Instagram or Meta platforms. So we had to start, you know, probably putting in some money there ki visibility lao. When we were probably sitting with a couple of other you know, founders, they were like, why are you not running ads and things like that. So we were like, ठीक है, ये भी try करते हैं, अगर हमको पैसा दे रहा है तो nothing like it. So even if I'm burning money, if it's giving me some form of return, if it's giving me bucks, I'm okay. It has to give me money back in return. So that's something that we started seeing. If you're running ads, our retention rate was more important. Like if that customer is buying once and just slipping out, it does not make sense. But we started seeing that the customers coming again and again. If they've bought something this month, the next month they want a different flavor. So that kept us going. That kept the light, you know, burning. Okay, theek hai, keep continuing. Customers are liking the product and they were ordering. So, and we reached a point where, you know, customers started flowing in messages that we like your coffee. Do you have different flavors? We've tried all the flavors. So they're like, do you have new flavors and things like that.
So what platform worked the best for you? Across all online platforms, in social media?
Probably Amazon is something that does give us, you know, good returns in terms of sales that we bring in. So I agree that we have to run ads everywhere to probably, you know, boost your sales though. But 100% we do have good retentions of customers too.
So if you spend ₹100 ad on Amazon, how much do you get back? Do you know that? In terms of sales?
In terms of sales, it was roughly on 4. Basically, if we are running 100, we directly get 400 ka sale.
That's sustainable for you right now?
Surely, but again, if you stop that 100, it pulls you back down to. So, but now that we have retention customers, they're slowly shifted to our website. So
that's the
I don't
goal.
know what. That's the goal. That's the goal.
How do you get them to shift to the website? Do you have like a QR code, like an offer in the box itself? Do you do some jugaad?
It's a very sly thing to do, but yeah.
It's not a sly thing, man. It's like,
we do put discount coupons. We put probably small printed brochures and things like that in the bottles that we were sending to make sure that next time if you're buying
in the bottle.
Yeah, as in
on the Dakkan ke niche.
I'll take you a little more back. So when we started off, I faced a lot of problems in shipping the bottles because they were all glass bottles. They used to break. Literally, I have got pictures from customer. It went as a flat piece. You kitna bhi bubble wrap kar do, kuch bhi kar do. Shipping people, we used to put a very big fragile sticker in front of us. They used to just throw it in their vehicle. He used to come pick and dhad. So we were like, yaar, idhar se aise ja raha hai to udhar kaise pahunchta hoga. We found boxes. Boxes were very expensive. Kuch bachta nahi tha haath mein. Because I think one box was roughly 12 to 13 rupees just for packaging.
The corrugated boxes.
The corrugated boxes.
Very expensive.
Very expensive. I was like, bachta kuch bhi nahi hai haath mein. Baitha ho dhanda karne, dhanda karao. So I was sitting probably packing the bottle back then. So tape khatam ho gaya. I was like, ये पीछे बचा क्या है? The अंदर का जो गट्टा होता है, the round core. So I was like, I took the piece, I took it back to my office. I was like, ठीक है, I'll sit and I'll see what I can do with this. So it was the thick tape.
Yeah.
So I was like, ठीक है, what if I increase the size and pack it in that core itself? So I went to some core manufacturer. First I went to the tape manufacturer. I found someone who does tapes. I was like, they told कि कितना टेप चाहिए? बोले टेप नहीं, मेरे को अंदर का चाहिए. बोले हाँ ठीक है, हो जाएगा. I was like, ठीक है, हाँ वेस्ट नहीं, उनके लिए तो परचेज करके they are putting the tape on it.
Purchase, yeah.
So I was like, ठीक है, मेरे को अंदर का कोर चाहिए, आप कोर दे दो. So he gave me a core which was bigger than the bottle, which didn't work for me. So and he charged me high. So I had taken only 2-3 rolls. I was like, लंबा वो 2-3 को काट के दे दिया according to the size. 1-2 bottle भेजा. I was like, ये भी महंगा पड़ रहा है. So then I went in a little more deep. I was like, how do I find the core itself? So I found a manufacturer who just does the core or who's supplying it to these tape people. I was like, I want it thinner, make it according to my bottle, give me 2 caps on bottom and top. He's like, caps to nahi milega, you just put tape. I was like, अच्छा नहीं दिख रहा है, मजा नहीं आ रहा. So I made sure that the packaging on the outer also was that great. I got 2 plastic caps made. We are a sustainable brand, we don't use plastic anywhere, but थोड़े limitations आ जाते where we couldn't find a way how to pack the bottle. So we got that core made. We made sure that the packaging was also safe for the customer to receive. So that was how our packaging was also sorted. Varna I think I would have
कितना
wasted
पड़ा?
good.
Core plastic का दोनों ढक्कन with branding and all of that, I'm sure.
I think not more than 6 to 7 rupees. So we cut down our costing directly to a very good half. And
It's very nice, no? When there's already another person that's solving for a mass market,
Yeah.
volumes are already high and the cost is very low. You try to figure out a way to fit your product in there.
exactly. That's
jugaad. It's a
Good
good
jugaad.
jugaad, yeah.
I was like, and that clicked where I was like, pack kar raha tha bottle. Back then, initially when we started, I think it was a very initial stage where only 100-150 bottles were going probably a month or something of that sort. So when we were packing those bottles, I was like, टेप खत्म हो गया. जब टेप का पीछे का बचा, like इससे कुछ क्या दिमाग चला या क्या बत्ती चली कि it just converted that into a packaging bit. It was interesting. Probably when I was sitting, I saw those Pringle chips boxes and all of that also. I was like, अगर ये लोग पैक कर सकते हैं, which is a food.
300-400 रुपए का आता है.
Exactly. So why not this?
अगरबत्ती के डब्बे में जैसा आता है.
Exactly.
Doesn't make sense at all. People still buy it.
People still buy.
Yeah.
So I was like, मेरे को तो outer packaging
are so fragile, they still stay well.
But interesting. It was fun, you know, just adding one small. I call it investment in life. Adding those small things just to make sure that your product is something which is enjoyed by customer is just amazing. ये packaging में भी we make sure that everything is printed with Dyne under.
Yeah.
So कल के दिन even if we make sure that the customer reuses those codes also. We used to put out certain content saying just plant a tree in that. थोड़ा मिट्टी डालो, एक seed डाल दो, it will grow. It is reusable. Even the bottles, we tell if you collect it back and give it to us, we will give you a free bottle. So these are certain things that we were running as a drive to. And worked, didn't work, still secondary, but something on a good cause is what we've always looked at.
So where are you at in terms of scales now with coffee? How many do you sell? How many do you?
We roughly do 7.
I'm afraid you will drop this, man. रख दे तू वरना गिर फिर जाएगा.
Used to.
I have 2 more episodes lined up. Matt clean चाहिए थोड़ा मुझे.
So in terms of scale, we roughly do 1,000 bottles a month per flavor.
अपनी चीज ना भारी नहीं लगती हाथ में. You can hold it for hours.
True that. And so used to with playing with glass bottles here and there, तो अब तो आदत सी हो गई.
Nice.
So we roughly do 7,000 bottles a month, which
So
is
you count it
1,000
in
bottles
bottles, not in boxes.
Not in boxes, no. So like you asked, coffee, so they go out in jars only. Other than that, we have a B2B scale separately, which go directly to caterers, to restaurants, to cafes, where they just give so many different flavors of cold coffees. They just have to add 1 spoon of it.
So that's also in jar. That's not in a packet.
No, that's in a packet.
That's in a packet because it makes sense.
B2B, because giving them jars will not make sense.
So do you still white label these, or do you?
We do white labeling for a lot of other brands now. So we are.
So how do you
flavoring
handle
coffee.
the back end, the manufacturing, all of that?
Back end, I look into the production majorly. So
Do you have a roasting unit here? Or do you have?
No. So these are all instant coffees where I take a processed form and we are adding flavors to it. So there's an entire process that goes into it where we are flavoring the coffee, making it into a crystallized version, and we are packing
So you
it.
set up a unit here in Bangalore
Our coffee comes from Coorg and we are processing it here in Bangalore.
with another vendor. So your back end is still light.
Yeah, we are processing it on our end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you have to just add the flavors.
We just have to add the flavors on it. Yeah.
When you say you add the flavor, it's like a syrup? Is it
No.
whole
These
different
are
process?
uh,
It's like a powder that gets added.
yes, it's in form of powders itself. But that's something.
So
which
then
is
where's the moat? I'm just trying to figure out what's the moat here. What is it that will keep the business a money-making machine for the long term? Moat क्या है आपका?
100%. So the moat here could be that the taste that we are giving or the number of flavors that we give, you might not find it with the other brands. Probably.
But don't take a
the hazelnut.
or a local brand
100%.
because they already have the distribution, they have the setup. You don't take
It
too long
won't
for
take
them to
easily
figure
out
out
100%.
out of your 7
I can
flavors,
say
what are
that
2 flavors that are
Tata
working?
also started off with their freeze-dried coffees and things like that. Freeze-dried. So the coffee that I deal...
Freeze-dried.
Freeze-dried coffees.
Say that again.
Freeze.
Like a fridge.
Freeze.
Okay.
Freeze-drying process is basically to make sure that your flavors and taste is locked in the crystals.
Oh.
So that's a different technology that has been used to make sure that the coffee is processed. So we are adding flavors to that. and it's not like a room freshener ki khul gaya and how fragrance chala gaya ya flavor chala gaya. You make sure that every spoon of coffee you make is going to give you the same taste. So that's the entire idea of the project that we had made. कि भाई flavor जो भी आए, bringing you back. Starbucks में to be consistent, yes. The coffee consistency, the taste remains the same. But bringing you back जो Starbucks में taste किया Java chip, कि taste तो कर लिया, coffee अच्छा लग गया. I paid 350 rupees there. I was like, I won't be able to pay 350 every day, but I have to taste that coffee every day. I have to make it a drink for me every day because I enjoyed it. So similarly, if I have enjoyed it, I want everyone to enjoy it. So I capitalized that. I made sure that I convert that into a business. I created 7 different flavors in coffee in retail jars, and we are supplying that today, where people are enjoying the coffee and they tell us that it is same as what we drink there. So I give a jar at probably 400 rupees, which can make roughly 35 to 40 cups. So if you divide the cost, it surely gets your pricing down way too much. So it was an amazing journey through the coffee bit, where we were able to understand how to,
But
probably
what is the moat that you have?
Flavors, taste.
Yeah.
The experience that we are giving the customer.
Those are very low barriers for any competitor to like stomp through. Don't you feel
100%. I totally agree on to that. But again, cracking the flavor when it comes to Irish cream, probably, which is one of our best sellers. There are a lot of other people who are selling Irish cream in the market. But the taste that we are able to give, and the customers who are probably stuck with us are here for the taste. There's no one who can probably get that recipe right, because there's a lot that goes on the back.
Really? Because in my head it seems like
just adding hazelnut to the hazelnut flavors is not easy.
No. It's not like adding sugar in the
Yeah, exactly. So
but,
there's a lot that goes in the exact flavoring bit too. So that's something which is our
and how do you
USP.
keep it protected? How do you keep it? Are you the only one that goes and takes care of the formulation? Or
the formulation is something which is
how do you protect the business?
With us. You don't find it anywhere outside. The flavoring bit, or the certain parameters of flavoring is something that we have it here.
And how do you monitor it? How do you make sure you are the one that?
Because we are the one. Obviously, I have a certain SOP that has been lined up on my back end that people might not be able to easily grab it. So there is a certain system that we follow. No one else has an idea about how to make it. I have certain people in my factory who do this for me, and even they might not know what are they adding here.
How?
Because nothing is labeled here and there. I am
so
getting.
There are no labels.
Yeah,
on any
as in according to FSSAI, they have to be labeled, but it is in a certain space where they are not accessible to. So it has been given to them, and they are just adding it. Okay. Technically, it is just flavors which are available in the market, but it is the quantity or the quantum that is to be used.
Right, the ratios.
The ratios.
But that's something
not easy to crack.
Expert would be able to reverse engineer in a relatively short time. Don't you feel so?
Might be possible too, but not that easy. Getting the exact thing, like even when it comes to spices or things like that, if I want to route back today to probably an MDH basic Kashmiri chili also, it's not an easy task. Like I'm not able to crack. You might get, like I told you, I might get to 90%. You will never get 100%. Until unless you don't have the entire SOP or the recipe to it. So reaching 90% is okay. Getting that 10% is a very big task. The entire market, when it comes to Horeca, is flooded with MDH, Kashmiri and Degi. So we are people trying to reach them, probably making sure that we get to every kitchen when it comes to these two products.
So internationally, what coffee brand do you look up to? And why?
There's Beanies. Beanies.
Okay, tell me more.
It's an international brand which is supplying a similar kind of coffee. The quality that comes in from there and the quality that we have here is day and night. When it comes to freeze-dried coffee, it has to be crystal, as in it has to be properly, purely just crystals, and you will not see any powder as such in the coffee that you see in Beanies. But when it comes to Dyne, you might find a little powder here and there. So we're trying to break that today also. The entire process of freeze drying is to make sure we give the most apt quality of coffee. So that's something that we're still working on today also, and making sure that the customer gets the best experience.
Nice. Anything else in addition to these two?
No, when you mention moat, there's no major moat in coffee that we have.
Yeah.
So the coffee bit is just something which keeps us a thing into the D2C market कि हाँ इनका brand है, and people can tell कि हाँ Dyne coffee is something that Dhwaj is doing something in, but they don't know what goes on to the back end. Spices is something which we majorly supply, and you walk into any restaurant and we are supplying spices there today. So we have reached a certain stage from probably knowing nothing about spices, learning about it, understanding a lot of things in detail, and slowly taking me to probably नहीं पता कितने पापड़ बेलने पड़े थे to probably understand कि ये spice ऐसे बनता है, and supplying it to one of the biggest restaurants today is.
So how did you crack one of your first few restaurants?
Again, one-to-one marketing is one of the best thing to do. I got down to a friend. Again, they're also into the restaurant business, and he got me in touch with his chef. I gave my samples to him. I was like, boss, मेरे पास ये है, आप मेरे को बताइए कैसे ले सकते हो. So we gave him one of the most basic spices also to something which were blended and made as an exception too. So these were products which I started getting tested, getting it checked कि क्या difference है, can I make it better, can we probably add certain things to make sure that the quality is apt. So understood the market, we started production with that.
Which was the hardest restaurant to crack?
I wouldn't say it was easy to crack any restaurant, to be very honest, because
It was a very
entry point when you have one of the biggest brands in today's time at those places is very difficult. Any, you say socials, you say any place, entering these places become a hassle. Like we have to go through or via someone to make sure that we get in. So we have a couple of distributors who already have these connects. Again, I would say that my journey of this entire business has been a very great help through these friends and families that have connects at these places. JBN has been one of the biggest connects also for me.
Jito Business Network.
Yeah, Jito Business Network has been a very great connect for me. So
you're able to get through the distributor already supplying.
So
this
they
is
get you
another
connected,
SKU.
they get you onto the table with the chef or the purchase managers there, and then you try to pitch your product. If they're okay with the product, they buy it, or you have to make certain changes for them. We focus on bringing in changes or customizing products for them too.
So you personalize it based on restaurant chain.
If they probably have a certain quantity.
But why would they leave the current vendor and come to you?
Price.
Okay. How much of a difference does it make?
It does. You can create a way huge difference too by adding certain things. Probably if you increase your salts or things like that.
So right now,
when it comes on the production bit, I can play around with the prices.
So the value addition is the cost saving that
They can do, because when it comes to restaurants, they have reached a point where cost is being a very big issue to them. Costs have been playing a very big factor for them in the entire business. So 100% they are earning, but when you walk into probably any brewery, the number of staff that they have employed, the rents that they are paying, the cost, that is driving them to probably not decrease the quality, but surely decrease the price, because we make sure we give them the same quality. So even they wouldn't agree if I give them a deteriorated quality, that ये कम में मिलेगा, price भी कम है, quality भी कम है.
So initially you are like, I'll reduce the cost and get into the door, but then
get into the door, and then
the price.
we can probably play with a different product. It does not increasing prices later, probably doing something like Uber or Ola, what they had done is not easy in this market, because it's a very price sensitive market. If I increase the price, आज मैं 100 में दे रहा हूँ, अगर एक महीने या probably even after a year, if I tell them it's higher now, they would easily switch back. Yeah. So more of customer relation is important here. I have to keep in touch with them. I have to make sure that I'm regularly talking to them, or having that, the light has to keep lighting, boss. You have to always make sure that you're there for the customer. If you're in good touch with him, good relation.
So how big is this business, the spice part of it?
We roughly have good number of restaurants that we're supplying. In terms of value, wouldn't want to mention the value,
Give
but
me a ballpark.
goes above 50 lakhs easily.
Per month?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're projecting a good amount of 1.5 CR that we want to hit soon. We've started reaching out to other 2-tier cities and things like that. So
1.5 CR what?
in terms of value.
Of billing, of revenue done a month? Okay. Interesting. So let me get to the rapid fire questions.
Yeah, please.
What's a piece of content you'd recommend my audience to consume? It could be a movie, a podcast, a book, a series, a blog, a tweet, thread.
I have recently started listening to a lot of podcasts, so surely podcast is something that I would also pick as a.
What's a founder you look up to?
My brother Dhwaj Chajjed.
Okay. What's a coffee brand people have to try?
Dyne.
I gave it away. What's the best piece of investment you've made under 10,000 rupees? A product, a gizmo, a tech that you would recommend others?
I think one of the courses that I had done properly from. I had purchased a book also which was related to that. It was again Indian Masalas. Only thing that I can think about is masalas and spices. So I had purchased a book which gave me a little more deep knowledge about it. So, yeah, below 10,000 or to kuch bhi nahi. Like I mentioned, high maintenance.
Quite a child.
Okay.
Not anymore, but yeah. What's a way for them to reach out to you?
You can just reach out to me anyway. LinkedIn, through Instagram. Drop in a message. You can get my number too. That's okay.
Nice. On that note, go and make some Galata.